So since I last made a video, we went and got the differential, which is in the car. Thank the Lord that it's all on four wheels now. And just so you know, it's not jacked up. I'm so glad for that. It's been so long since I've actually seen it on all fours. The front's riding really high right now, but I think it's because the motor's not in it. Oh, so what we're gonna do today is we put some diff fluid because the service center I took it to did not include diff fluid in it. But we're gonna put some new wheel studs in the front tires and maybe give this old girl a wash. So, cue the intro. So I'm gonna be replacing the front wheel studs. This can go probably for about any car, but this is just on the Firebird. I like to jack it up right on this subframe here. It's where the motor sits. It's a pretty stable place, and you can get the whole front end lifted up, and then we'll put two jack stands, one right there, then one right there. And yeah, sorry if me recording's not very good, because you know, this is kind of like a two-hand job. I'm gonna try to do it with one hand, see how it goes. Maybe I can set the camera up somewhere, we'll see. But jack it up right here, and then on to the next part. I like to get my wheels pretty well off the ground. See, there's about, I'd say, 2 to 3 inches off the ground. This is more like 5 inches, but then you'll take your jack stand, move this out of the way. I like to go on the pinch welds. If your pinch welds are too rusty, you can go on the frame. But this is the pinch weld. And just put her up there. Make sure both your jack stands are at the same height, or else you're gonna have a little bit of lean and it's just uncomfortable. But all right, let's get these set up and take off the wheels. One thing I should have mentioned before you pick it up, take your lug nuts off. Not all the way off, just loosen them up. But I have an impact, so that's not gonna be tough for me. But if you're doing this with, like, let's say a breaker bar or something, just wrenches, and you don't have power tools or air tools, you wanna loosen your lug nuts up beforehand. There we go, we got both jack stands underneath. You're gonna take your jack, and you're gonna slowly let her down until she sits. Right down on them. And that's why I like to lift the car up a lot. As you see now, since they're sat down, there's not much room, but yeah, looks like I might have to lift it up just a little bit more. Make sure you got it high enough so when you set your jack stands down, it doesn't, you know, go down more than you want it. So we're gonna lift it up, reset the jack stands, and take the wheels off. Also, if your car is in neutral or it doesn't have a drive shaft in it because you're working on it, put chocks underneath the tires. I gotta do that quick. But if you're on an incline and you don't have your tires chalked, it's gonna roll back and it's gonna be a sucky day. You could damage your car. Just be smart, put wheel chocks. This is a pretty flat area, so I'm not too concerned about it, but I'm gonna do it just in case. Also, quick thing, if you're working on an F-body, it's like 1991 to 2002 Camaro or Firebird, This is not a pinch weld. This is your fender. A lot of people mistake these for pinch welds, and it sucks to bend back into place. So do not put your jack stands or your jack on this. This is not a pinch weld. Now that we got this set to the right height, pretty level, pull your jack from underneath there and take your tires off. Let me hook up my impact and we'll get that started. I did not want to have to do this, but yeah, get yourself impact rated sockets. Know where they are. Don't be me. I hope that doesn't break. I would definitely recommend using a bigger impact, like a 1/2 inch air tool, or even an electric 1/2 inch, but I can't find my 1/2 inch 19, so I think this will do the job. Boy, was I wrong. Oh, this should be a breeze now. Look how easy that was. And the socket survived. 2 more to go. And if you're asking why I only have 2 lug nuts on the 2 front tires, because when originally I was driving this around, I lost a bunch of wheel studs. As you can see, one missing there. There was a couple others missing. The back tires didn't have any wheel studs. So I could get it up on the trailer, I took all my lug nuts and put 2 on each tire and got it up on the trailer. If these damn flies would stop fucking with me, I would stop waving my hand around. Anyways, let's get the other tire taken off and let's get the brakes taken off. Alright, with both sides off, now we can take the tires off, set them off to the side. And look at that, a rusty brake rotor. And look at that, another rusty brake rotor. That one's not as bad though. All right, let's get these calipers taken off and these taken off, and we'll go from there. All right, so if you're doing this on an F-body, god damn, these flies are bad. It's gonna be 19mm bolts on the back. Get those popped off real quick and then take off the rotors. So if your brake rotors are seized, and god damn, these flies will just not stop. Sorry. If your brake calipers are as seized as mine are, you're gonna need to take a hammer. If you're trying to save the rotor and the caliper, well, if it's seized you can't. But if you're trying to like save the bracket or anything, I'm getting all new brakes, so we're not gonna be very gentle with this. But be pretty gentle. They can break, and they will break. So, pound with care. Should mention, even if you are getting new brakes, new calipers, and all that, do not let it hang unless you're planning on getting a new hose, because they do stretch. I don't know if that's what's wrong with this or if the pistons are seized. We'll probably find out. Looks like the pistons are probably seized. It's pretty rusty up in there. But yeah, do not just let that hang. Also, if this is really rusty, you're gonna really have to pound on it to get it off. Here, I'll show you a little bit. So I like to kind of work my way around here. I like to hit, if you're trying to save this, I like to hit kind of there. It doesn't have to be in like a star pattern or anything. You're just trying to break up the rust. So just kind of keep hitting it there. Harder, obviously, but I can't do that with just one hand. So I'm gonna have to do it off camera. But hit there and it should come off. If not, then maybe just kind of smack it around the edges a little bit. But do not hit this part if you are trying to save your rotor. Anyways, I'm gonna get to smacking this thing. There we go. Now that is off. I did end up hitting there. That is why you do not want to hit that part of your rotor if you are trying to save it. But this rotor is not really worth saving, so we're just gonna put some new ones on. All right, so now what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna smack these out of here with a hammer. Probably a sledgehammer would probably be easier. If they don't come out, then you're gonna have some problems. Oh, that's gonna need replaced. All right, I'm gonna do this and then I'll show you how to put them back in. And just like that, they're all out. Go ahead and clean out these holes with like a wire brush or something. Like one of the ones that you can stick in these holes. It just helps. And yeah, and then I'll show you how to put them back in. Just took a little break from the Firebird to watch this. That's a pretty dark storm. I had to take a little break from making the video. It was hailing real bad outside. So what you're gonna wanna do next is grab a nut that'll fit here. Let me show you. That'll fit over your stud. Put your stud in there. Make sure it's kind of lined up. Make sure you're not, ruining the spleens on it. I like to kind of try to pull them in a little bit. If you can tap them with a hammer, do that just a little bit. And take this and grab, hold on one second. Sorry about that. Grab your lug nut. See how that's secure on there? Then you'll take your impact. I might have to use the air tool for this. Take your impact and suck that thing in. Yeah, I'm gonna need the air impact for it, but you get the concept. Go until you're all the way pulled through. Oh, sorry about that. My camera won't focus. Anyways, go until you're all the way pulled through. And then do the same for all 5 of them. And do the same for the other wheel. Just follow the procedure. And I will show you, once we get the tires back on, what it looks like. Not gonna lie, that was one I've been dreading for a while. But as you can see, we got no brakes in there for now. So she can just roll around. And this is the first time I've seen the Firebird with all 5 lug nuts. I bought it with like 4 on this tire, 3 on that tire, all 5 of them on that tire, but like 4 on that tire. But now she's sitting, and now we can roll her around and go wash it, do whatever we want with it. So that's gonna conclude this video. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to like 500 followers by the end of next year, and we will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you next time.